boring day here in Pennsylvania, so I decided, what the hell, I'll go live and just jabber. Saw Bounding into Comics posted that thumbnail that I'm using as, posted that as I'm using it as thumbnail because it's hilarious. So you've got this LGBTQ psychopath screaming about them not being able to get, hi Chad, not being able to get enough signatures on their stupid petition to make a difference. Well, here's the deal. When you're a little frog in a big pond and you want to make a splash, yelling and screaming, you sound like Remy the rat on Ratatouille. I mean, that's what they sound like. It doesn't make a difference. My upload today, I explained why stuff like this won't make a difference from a different angle. It's the business angle. Though Disney, I don't think really spent any money on this. I think this was completely created with outside funds. There's no reason to think they did. I'm pretty sure that Iger and Chapek and Bergman and even the idiot Dana Walden, who I think is probably going to get her head chopped off by Iger. That's a different story. We might talk about that. She basically said that we're not making this, Kathy. Kathy then scrambled together what she could from dedicated funds and things like that. And I'm trying to find the tweet because I want to read this to you. So, Bounding into Comics. Because I want to read this to you because it's hilarious. All right. This is probably a while back now. Well, if I can't find it, let me look up here. Photos. It's the money thing. You can't just sit there and think you're going to save a show no one watched. I mean, they say $180 million was spent. I'm not convinced of that because of what from just what I saw of it, even the introduction where all the helmets and masks show up, it looks piss poor. Okay, it looked bad, and I just don't think that money appeared on the screen. I don't think it was there. And now Cameron just posted, retired Lucas joins Spielberg's. They're doing another Indiana Jones game or something. Probably the Indiana Jones game that we're getting. And the reason why is because they have to do something about that too. But if you don't get all the support, look, all right, what was my point here? Here's the deal. 72,000 signatures in a fan base that is hundreds of millions of people ain't shit. And it doesn't translate to Nielsen ratings, doesn't translate to subscriptions. And when they drive people away from the service, which is what Sparrow said, and I believe him, uh, it, you know, uh, it was, it just, it's not gonna work, okay? And the fact that the person in the thumbnail screaming, "We need it," the acolyte, it's like, no, you need therapy. You need to talk to Dr. Fraser Crane and Niles Crane. I'll get you their cards, okay? Um, and that's what happened. Just because I really feel strongly that this generation, which is really fucked up in the head. I mean, when you've got kids who are 20 years old, who are raised in suburban Maryland, whose family has more money than God, who want an emotional support animal because they can't handle college, and they freak out at you when you tell them Taylor Swift sucks, to the point where you're like, there's something wrong with you. You got a problem. But this generation is nuts. And I really find that we're dealing with people who have spent so much time on TikTok, the internet, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and all the other shit, that they lose perspective. They think the world revolves around them. They think their minuscule problems are more important than stopping a nuclear war with Russia. Or you know ending illegal immigration to the United States. Um, you know Ending animal dog abuse and shit like that. Ending the national debt. Okay, they think that their personal bullshit is more important. No, it's not. And no, again, and I learned this a long time ago. The more you worry about shit you shouldn't worry about, the less you're able to do. The more fear you have, and the more anxiety that you have, the more enslaved to that you are. Okay, these kids don't know it. First off, I'm looking at that. I wish I could find that tweet. God, I don't know why it's not showing up here on the um on the Facebook pages, but their Facebook page, it's not. The more you look at things like the Acolyte, like Agatha All Along and all the rest of that shit, and think that it was made for you so you could be seen, the more narcissistic you become. Okay. The more self-absorbed you become. And the less you think of other people and the bigger picture. All right. Acolyte's just a stupid TV show, poorly made TV show. You know, Case in point, let's say like Taylor Swift, something happens and she drops out of the popular culture. Okay, she gets caught with drugs. Caught with, I don't know, minor boys or some shit like that. Uh, or killing puppies or something, which wouldn't surprise me. What do they do? They're what they see in front of them that they think is for them has taken away their perspective. Now we've got people crying. I mean, literally, like, "Hey, Dave, don't worry, I already got one sick motherfucker, and he's now banned." What do they do though? Okay, I don't. Here's the deal: if Star Wars is for everybody, why is a very small minute minority of fans trying to drive the rest of us away. All right. This is what I think. I think that they're trying to use this to destroy what's left of Star Wars. So Mando and Grogu won't be successful. So Heir to the Empire doesn't get made. Okay, look. Ahsoka already put the seeds of changing the sequel trilogy. All right. What I said in my upload this morning is obvious. Anakin Skywalker is in the world between worlds. The big rumor from 2 years ago or so was that they were going to use the world between worlds to change the timeline. Now, you can sit there and argue with me all you want about that if you're a Black Pillar or you're Bali the Hag Damon, or Rachel Emma Fat Blob Leishman. But the fact is this: Anakin is in the world between worlds. Go back to Clone Wars. The Mortis arc. The father says to Anakin in the first chapter of that, you are definitely the chosen one. I'm paraphrasing. I need you to come here and take over for me to keep my daughter and son in balance. Anakin says, no, I've got stuff I've got to do. I can't, but sorry. Okay. They try to leave. They can't. The son steals Ahsoka out of the Jedi shuttle, and off we are through chapter 2. Anakin saying no isn't necessarily him saying no to what's obviously is going to be his destiny. All right. Anakin is saying no in the moment because he does have stuff to do. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a general in the Republic, Grand Army of the Republic, and he's a husband to Padme. Okay. He's got these, I'm going to say attachments that are important to him. However, again, like I said, that does not necessarily preclude him from, when he passes through the veil of the Force, to becoming the replacement for the father who commits seppuku, taking with the power from the son. All right. So he's in the veil of the Force. Anakin's there. That's where he met Ahsoka. That's where he just kind of took her through her last lessons, and basically told her she was going to be all right. All right. And when she came out of it, she was Ahsoka the White. She's wearing white, light Jedi garb. The very last episode of Ahsoka, she's standing there with Sabine. Oh, I hate Sabine. And you see the avatar, or the symbol paraclete of the daughter. Not just a paraclete. The Holy Spirit is a paraclete. Okay, it's something that comes forth. It's a spirit that comes forth from God the Father, God the Son. Okay. The paraclete that owl, Marai, is sitting there, and then she flies away. The daughter is there in spirit. We've got a beam of light shooting out from a mountain peak. We've got Balin's skull standing literally on the finger of the father, that huge like monolith coming out of the mountain, pointing to it. We've got on Balin Skull's wrist device thing, in Aubrish, the name Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia Organa Solo, or Leia Organa, I had Solo just because, and then Ben with no last name. I want them to get, I don't like that character. I would prefer Jaina and Jason. I just think it's like, stop it. You know, first off, don't give people who were such assholes about Luke and Han any ammunition. Okay, these nose ring wearing heifer calves running around screaming about with their fucking head cannon. Okay, what you do here is this. All right, what you do here is this. You just have Jaina and Jason's show up. All right. I mean, Ben can be there, but we need the twins. We need something more than Grand Admiral Thrawn to connect us to what good Star Wars was. Okay, and those two characters are good Star Wars. So, but we've got all this. All right. They're on Peredia. The so-called fairy tale planet is real. The seeds of the destruction of the sequel trilogy in the Kennedy era are set in there. Now, when I say Kathleen Kennedy, who Chris Gore said she wants to leave but doesn't want to leave without a hit, well, if they don't renegotiate her contract or re-up it, then she's gone, okay? She really doesn't have anything to stand on. I mean, the last movie she made, what was it, lost $300 million? Okay, it's one of the biggest failures, if not the biggest failure of all time, and it was Indiana Jones. That's a slam dunk if you do it right. But no, we had to have Phoebe Waller twat waffle there with her obnoxious, condescending, smug Brit bullshit, okay, which I can't stand. Okay, I love the Brits, but when you get some public school girl, public school boy, snarky shit like, you name them, it's like, you guys realize that we kicked you out of this country in 1775. We started the whole get your ass out of here now kind of thing. And we don't give a flying fuck what you think. And we haven't for over 200 years. You might want to think about that before you keep yapping. Okay? It's very obvious to me that the mistakes were in the casting. They could not get a decent, good enough script. Spielberg got sick of Kathy constantly interfering because Kathy, because she's the president of Lucasfilm, thinks she's the one in control. It's like, no, you weren't the creator behind Indiana Jones. George was the one who thought the story up. He teamed up with Steven. The first script for Raiders of the Lost Ark was written by Larry Kasdan, with both of them standing over his peckerhead shoulders, making sure he did it right. Okay. Oh, we should kill Indy off at the end. Can we kill off Han Solo? Fucking idiot. He is Steven. Thanks, Cross. Grandmas in shithole cultures like India must be 16 years old or something. I mean, unless 38 years old there is elderly, but of course they don't have any money and die young, so it probably is. Okay, whatever. Anyway, they really, this is why Indiana Jones failed. Okay, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Well, look, I went and checked on Blue Skies, and he's not saying anything right now. He's not saying anything. Like I said, he got rid of his public account on Twitter or X. But he's still has his private account privated. It's still there. So for all the drama of I'm leaving X, you can find me on Blue Skies. He's still on X. So he's full of shit. They all are. So it's like, look, don't care. Don't give a fuck. You guys fucking failed. And obviously something's going on. I mean, look, when you got, and again, what are the three scenarios that I came up with for the Iger hit piece in the New York Times? It'll be 2 weeks coming this Sunday. Scenario one, Kennedy was actually one of the main leaders of the cabal, if not the cabal leader. Okay, but she couldn't have done it all by herself because it's too detailed. And there were things that were in that article that there's no way in hell she would ever know. And I really don't think Bob Chapek would appreciate her, whom I'm pretty sure he despised, knowing all this stuff. Okay, so, all right. Or somebody told her about it. She decided to tell everybody, all of her minions, all over the places that she is still regarded as the quasi-president of, that she was coming back. And she was responsible for that hit piece. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There's such a thing that's called operational security. Don't tell anybody but the people you're working with. They don't tell anybody else but you and the other people you're working with. That's it. You keep your goddamn mouth shut. She didn't. Or because Musk is friends with Nelson Peltz, who's friends with Bob Chapek, Ike Perlmutter, and that guy named Ellison, whoever he is. Might they have been the ones to have that article planted? And might they be watching this going, they're going to burn themselves down. It's going to be mutually assured destruction. This dumbass just took responsibility for what we did. Good. Now Iger will go after her. Okay. And like, we've all been waiting for the emails to come out. Now, any of these scenarios, if she was responsible or was part of the responsible cabal or took responsibility for something she didn't do, didn't even know about, okay, even though Lucasfilm only being mentioned once proves to me that she might have had something to do with it. Again, there isn't enough, she didn't know enough to be the ringleader. Okay. She just put herself, because I told them, in the bullseye. All right. And Iger, I mean, I don't overestimate people. I don't underestimate people. When I say Kennedy's stupid, she is. I mean, telling people I was the one behind this, that was stupid. Okay. And I'm not underestimating or overestimating her. Maybe I underestimated how stupid she is. I don't know. But if you underestimate Bob Iger, you are a moron. Okay. And he will bring it in. I mean, he will take you out. Okay. Kennedy, I think what Kennedy's doing is she wants to cause trouble all the way down. And like I said, you've got Molly Damon and rewriting Ripley and an idiot from Mary Sue, all screaming, and you've got others crying that they can't get enough signatures on their stupid petition. Well, the reason why you can't get signatures on your stupid petition is because the TV show sucked. Okay. I think it's hilarious. I really do. I mean, I think, um, well, Donnie, it could, but that doesn't have anything to do with Iger. That would be her going after Spielberg and Lucas, yeah, and you know, her own husband, who was staying at one of the big hotels, the Ritz, or I think it was the Ritz, in London. And when he found out there's a U.S. Marshal waiting to pick him up, jumped on the company airplane and flew to Paris, where there's no extradition treaty with the French. That's the story. So if she wants to play that thing, that would be mutually assured destruction, because she and her husband, or at least her husband, he's going down with them. Okay, and if it's about her losing her job at Lucasfilm or being pushed out, what does that have to do with the Twilight Zone? Okay, now she could have, um, you know, tapes or something, but Iger's got blackmail stuff on her too. The emails, which I think are part of the evidence. Well, she wasn't on the set that night, Donnie, I don't think. I remember reading it. Frank was actually there, and he flew to England. Or was it? I can't remember if it was filmed in England. No, it wasn't, because they had a Huey 204 or whatever it was, and that's what crashed and beheaded everybody. Frank was on the set, was staying at the Ritz Carlton, flew to England, staying at the Ritz Carlton, and he received a phone call and said, was told, there's a deputy U.S. Marshal here to take you back to the United States, take you back to Los Angeles. Frank said, okay, I'll be right down. I'm taking a shower. And he left. All right, so it was filmed in LA. So he got the hell out of there. Now, I could see Kennedy covering up the cocaine and shit on the set, but the fact of the matter is, she didn't have shit on anybody at Disney. Frank was the one that ran. Okay, so if she says anything about Twilight Zone, her husband's one that's gonna go spend time in the pokey. And he just turned 78 years old. Okay, so I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. I I think that this hit piece was designed for this alone. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. And Molly Damon and Rewriting Ripley and the Mary Sue getting, when Saltier Than Crate and Rewriting Ripley were tasked with this, part of this, that all came from Lucasfilm. Now, again, back in the day, 2018, 2019, when they were part of a study, because they always trying to sound like they're professional, and doing a study on toxic fandom. And that Michelle Buckman, see if I can find her picture here. She now, or at least was, working for MGM. See, it's a thing, is you can find anything about anybody when you have to. Hey, Mad Piranha. But she, oh, I hope I can find it. Yeah, I think I can. Uh, she was the one that started that crap, and she left Lucasfilm in 2020. I think she's probably fired. Doesn't she look normal? Doesn't she? I mean, it's just, you know, but she was the one that started this shit. Okay, so now they're back trying to start it again. So somebody at Lucasfilm, and when you look at the people who are doing social media, it's a guy, and I don't think this dude would have anything to do with it. But yeah, she was at Lucasfilm, this Michelle Buckman, and she was, stop it, stop it. Social media lead, Lucasfilm full time, October 2018, and this stuff started with her around December of that year to August 2020. So I think she was let go, and now she, at least she says, or no, she was at MGM and she left in March. So, you know, so who could possibly be at Lucasfilm to revive the rewriting Ripley shit and then the stupid petition? You know, these are the things that you have to ask yourself. And, you know, you've got all this stuff, drama going on with Iger. Personally, I don't think Iger's position at Disney is isn't any danger. I think it could, well, again, it could be people, rogue elements, rogue, hey Carlos, rogue executives. But again, if Dana Walden is part of this cabal, or she is the one that started, look, Dana Walden is still there. Christine McCarthy didn't leave because of health reasons. She left because she was fired. Susan Arnold was basically kicked off the board. Okay, I could see Kennedy going with them and trying to gather as much information as possible to fuck with Iger, because he was like, this shit, we're not doing this anymore. Okay, he basically instituted a lot of what Chapek wanted to do. Okay, you know, so, and again, it's not perfect. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the interviews with the makers of Agatha Already, or whatever the fuck that TV show's called. It's a Marvel Universe pile of shit. Agatha Already, or whatever. They basically took a lead from Headland, Agatha All Along, and are acolyting it. Nobody's gonna watch this. I don't know any Marvel fans that want to see this shit. And you gotta remember, this thing was being filmed at the height of Wokistan. Okay, so there you go. It's really interesting to me how if this was me, if I was Kevin Feige, I would basically tell that showrunner, you're never working for Marvel again. Okay, and then I would say, and you know why? Because the idiot that made The Acolyte did the same thing, and look at The Acolyte. Okay, so what are, so now they're afraid of The Acolyte getting, getting completely taken off of Disney Plus. And then the guy from Today basically said they won't get a tax credit for it. but they don't have to pay residuals to the actors, the showrunner, the writers, anybody. Okay, if they do that. Raise your hand if you think that Leslie Headland doesn't deserve any pay from the Acolyte. Okay, why? She turned in a half-finished, half-assed product. Okay? She absolutely did nothing to make herself look even remotely skilled at writing a story. Jason Hunt had a point today when he said, these shows aren't about the franchises. It is basically a personal story, the showrunner's personal story. That's what the Acolyte is. Okay, that's what it is. And Agatha all along will be the same thing. Okay, and no one wants to see that. I mean, I just go, you know, what? I don't, why? You know, so you kind of scratch your head and go, why should Disney not take it off? And there is no reason not to take the Acolyte off of Disney Plus. I'm going to say this. I'm pretty sure Agatha all along won't get a second season, and it will probably be removed from Disney Plus because of the same shit. Okay, these are the last re's from the, oh yeah, I think she should be paying them back for substandard work. I mean, she hands in, yeah, it was. That's what Sparrow said to Cameron. Okay, that's exactly what they said to Cameron. Okay, that it wasn't finished. It was barely 4 episodes. And this is my theory, and I said this before, I think I said this yesterday, that she filmed a few scenes for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then just dove into 6, 7, and 8, and then handed this garbage in, and then John gave her the boot. Okay. I think so, yeah. I think, or she filmed scenes for each episode, but the last time they were crowing about it was like, they're filming episode 4 right now. Almost a day later, they're filming episode 5. So I think is that they didn't finish any episodes at all. What I think is it was just a bunch of disconnected scenes from each episode. And there was no rhyme, no reason to it. And because I don't think they had any money. If Disney spent any money, it was trying to figure out what the fuck to do with this shit. Okay. And now we've got, God, I wish I could find that. Hilarious tweet, or, let's see, bounding into comics. No, I need bounding into comics. This old phone. Here, maybe it's this one. Okay, let's see what this is. I really want you guys to see this because I want to read it to you because it's hilarious. You know, it was yesterday, maybe. I mean, but I can't find it in any of the. But the emotion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn what I made into a short, and then just, or for the community to see. just because it's hilarious. We can't find enough people to sign our petition. It's over. I'm going to take a few days off. And then the whole, we need, okay, here it is. All right, 4 hours ago. This is what it looks like. You guys saw the thumbnail. I'll read it to you. I'm taking a small break for obvious reasons, but please don't let all our hard work go to waste. Don't let the bigots win. We're obviously the bigots. We haven't trended in days. The signatures have slowed. Most people don't bother to use tags anymore. Manny said his goal was Acolyte Season 2, and yet it seems like all the momentum has died. Don't give up. Remember, it's about more than a TV show. And doesn't she say we need this? I mean, more than a TV show? It's a fucking TV show. No one wants it. You know? And the reason why signatures have slowed and it's not trending, it's not even your own weirdos give a shit anymore. Okay? Oh yeah, it is. You know, it's like, I'm like, if that's, no. This person has never been told no in their life. Ever. I mean, you know, walk into Target and see a toy they want, and they just grab it off the shelf and mommy buys it. You know, they get in trouble at school for bullying somebody, and mommy says it's okay. Okay, the sun rises and shines out of their butt crack. You wonder why we've got, 20-year-olds who have more anxiety than a Marine landing at Iwo Jima, who definitely had reason to have anxiety, okay? I mean, it's like, what? And I gotta tell you guys something else. Why the fuck do we have to put up with it? There are kids that are the same age that aren't full of anxiety because their parents did say no. And are like, you're embarrassing me to them. Okay? Or, what they do, these people do, is they bully people who don't necessarily agree or like them into silence. If you disagree with us, we're going to beat your ass into the ground. It's their side that's violent, not ours. I mean, and that's the truth. Anyway, I just wanted to make this a thing because talk about this because I mean, this is the state of the world's youth and the youth in the United States. Instead of having a meltdown over the threat of World War III happening, we got these little fuckers screaming and crying and ranting and raving that they're not getting their stupid, retarded TV show. All right? They're the ones that are going to get drafted and go to war. Wow. Wow. I don't think we have a fucking chance, to be honest, with this bullshit. They can't, but that's because they never had to. That's because they never had to. And, no one asks them, why do you have so much anxiety? Anyway, I gotta go. My voice is kicking out. It's 3:30. I'll probably go downstairs and lift weights. Go see Kay if it stopped raining. But you guys have a good afternoon, and I'll see you around the galaxy.